These protesters in Sydney don't like any parts of Australia's policies towards asylum seekers. This week, one element of those policies is being tested in the country's highest court. Does Australia have the right to detain people at sea? The government argues it does. In July, it did. It was a high seas drama that, at the time, the government refused to confirm was happening. No pictures of what happened have been made public. But court documents reveal the facts. On June the 29th, the Australian Navy intercepted a boat carrying 157 asylum seekers when it was just outside Australia's territorial waters. The passengers were transferred onto this ship, which sailed them further from Australia. The asylum seekers were detained on board for a month. The government wanted to return them to India, where the Sri Lankan Tamils had set off from, but it didn't have an agreement with India to do so. Eventually, the asylum seekers were sailed back and put ashore on Australia's Cocos Islands.
The government was arguing that they could do anything they wanted to them. It is a grey area, and the government is pushing it. They're saying we have unfettered power on the high seas, and we are arguing that they don't, that people are entitled to be safe and not sent back to their death or harm.
Robert, who doesn't want to give his last name, is a Sri Lankan Tamil who has been granted refugee status in France. He knew his sister and her family had also fled Sri Lanka, but it was weeks before he heard the news that they were in Australian custody at sea.
They are safe, they are in Australia boat. Okay, I'm happy, help them. They want peaceful life. We request to Australia government to help them.
But Robert's family and the others won't be resettled in Australia. They've now been flown to the Pacific nation of Nauru. If found to be refugees, they'll either be resettled there or in Cambodia, another country that Australia has done a deal with to take its refugees. If their detention at sea is found to have been illegal, the 157 Tamils may be able to seek compensation, but it won't affect where they end up living. Although Australia's High Court is looking at the specifics of what happened to the 157 Tamil asylum seekers held in June and July, its impact will be on any future asylum seekers trying to get to Australia. Which laws apply on the high seas? Can Australia act unilaterally? And are its own policies legal? Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Sydney.